Socrates is one of history's most influential thinkers and philosophers, known for planting the seeds of Western philosophy in ancient Athens. Though he left behind no writings, his devoted student Plato preserved his teachings and philosophies. At the core of Socrates' teachings was the belief that the unexamined life is not worth living. Rather than claiming wisdom, Socrates highlighted the importance of pursuing truth through questioning, analyzing, and understanding our deeply held assumptions and beliefs. Centuries later, the quotes and ideas attributed to Socrates continue to compel people to live conscious, thoughtfully examined lives. His timeless words prod us to think more deeply and gain wisdom not by amassing knowledge, but by recognizing how much we still have yet to understand. By simply making people question and reason through issues, Socrates pushed individuals to go beyond unquestioningly following trends or living reactively. His quotes capture key insights on thinking independently, avoiding assumptions, and living philosophically that remain relevant today. Examining Socrates' wisdom today. Despite being separated by millennia, grappling with Socrates' enduring quotes can guide life's murkier questions in the modern day. How can an ancient Greek philosopher's thinking apply in contemporary society? As we will explore through various quotes and examples, the wisdom embedded in Socrates' words cuts across periods and cultures. Regardless of context or technological shifts, humans fundamentally struggle with the same timeless issues that consumed thinkers like Socrates: how to examine their own lives, relate to others in their communities, and gain some grasp of virtue and truth in the world. The unexamined life is not worth living. This may be Socrates' most widely known quote, capturing the thinker's foundational belief in the value of self-examination. What does it mean to live an unexamined life? It signifies drifting through life unconsciously, never questioning one's values or direction. Socrates compelled people to avoid complacency in their beliefs and worldviews. An unexamined life implies assuming one already has all knowledge and truth, shutting out exposure to new perspectives or opposing arguments. It restricts the ability to grow. The advice embedded in this short quote remains profoundly applicable today. In the internet age, for example, it has never been easier to fall into echo chambers that validate our pre-existing views. However, consciously examining why we believe what we believe and avoiding assumptions leads to more integrity. One fascinating modern case study is the philosopher James Lindsay, who questioned his progressive ideology after realizing how much was rooted in untested assumptions. His deep questioning and examination of his own woke belief system upended his worldview and changed the course of his career. "I cannot teach anybody anything, I can only make them think." Socrates highlights how his method stimulates critical thinking through probing questions rather than directly imparting knowledge. The goal is to get people to reason for themselves. Socrates did not claim to have all the answers. In parallel, modern research shows that learning occurs best through active engagement rather than passive transmission of information. The spirit of this quote applies fluently to the problems around the spread of misinformation and indoctrination today. Fact-checking and censorship cannot fully address issues like conspiracy theories or extremist messaging. Just as Socrates would engage dialectically to make people scrutinize irrational arguments themselves, we need more emphasis on critical thinking and media literacy education. Teaching individuals not what to think, but how to reason through claims and examine the evidence for themselves allows sustainable growth. Case studies demonstrate how general logic and reasoning workshops can immunize people over the long term against manipulation or ideological brainwashing. The tools of analysis valued by Socrates remain highly relevant. "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle." This quote speaks to a profound form of empathy. It reminds us not to make hasty judgments about others when we cannot fully understand their struggles or situations. Past grievances often influence behaviors more than surface impressions tell. Even the most arrogant or rude person could face tremendous internal turmoil and pain. Socrates advises leading with compassion. Practicing this philosophy could greatly benefit public discourse today, which can seem irreparably polarized. Belittling those with opposing political opinions or insulting people we disagree with may feel justified at the moment. However, behind radicalized worldviews often lie complex psychological factors like personal trauma or perceived threats. Relating to the human instead of reacting to the ideology can de-escalate conflicts. Case studies of friendships between extremely politically opposed individuals reveal how emphasizing shared struggles fosters mutual understanding. Truly hearing others' hardships often dissolves hatred. Even without direct engagement, remembering the inherent humanity of all, as Socrates advised philosophically, generates more patience and kindness. Practical applications. While some dismiss ancient philosophies as abstract and esoteric, analyzing Socrates' enduring quotes illustrates their concrete applicability to issues today, whether navigating polarization, media literacy, or life's fundamental questions. By prompting a deep investigation of concepts many take for granted, like justice or truth, Socrates' ideas push us to live more consciously. Practicing principles from Socrates in areas like actively engaging opposing views, questioning your beliefs, and leading with empathy towards others generates more virtue on an individual level. Society progresses through individuals daring to think and live examined lives independently. Conclusion. Socrates left an immense intellectual legacy by advocating for examined, consciously directed living rather than reactively following assumptions or customs. He compelled people to reason their way to truth through his Socratic questioning. The quotes we explored reveal how we can live more thoughtfully, regardless of context or technological shifts, by standing atop timeless wisdom accrued over generations. More than an ancient historical figure, through his quotes, Socrates remains a touchstone for examining life in all eras. Whether you live in 5th century BC Athens or navigate the age of information 2,500 years later, Socrates' wisdom pushes us to deepen awareness, think critically, and infuse compassion into our beliefs and actions. His influence